Hello and welcome to September. Doesn't that sound awful? It feels like I should be saying April. It's not awful. It's amazing, but it's crazy that it happened so fast. And I fully believe, um, I don't know. Go with me here, guys. It always feels to me like September is like a quiet new year. It's the chaos of summer is kind of like starting to fade. And I don't know, there's just this window of time that kind of falls before the holiday rush comes, and fall is beautiful. Everybody always loves, most people love fall, right? Like people like fall. And so if you have been a little bit off track for summer, give yourself some grace. We're back here. The goals that you set in January, have maybe gotten a little bit foggy. This is the time. This is the time to grab your new year, September new year. And so if you've lost a little bit of momentum, that's okay. That is the beauty of doing what we do. We can always come back to it, right? And so this is our reset. This is our let's refresh in fall. And so a lot of you know that today I was working with a lot of revamping of new chats and things that we are going to be part of our refreshed September. And our theme is strategy, simplicity, and bold belief. We're going to make things easy, right? Quickly going to mute people. There we go. All right. So September is a launchpad month. Follow with me what we've all gotten to hear today. And tomorrow is another announcement that I know that is coming from Plexus. So stay tuned for that. Everything we do in fall falls into momentum, right? It's that we're going for the holiday income. We're going for 2025, 2026 rank ups. And it takes boldness and intentionality. And it starts today. It is September 1st. So here we go. Leaders Retreat is officially on. Woohoo! If you feel like this is not going to happen, throw that thought out the door and then rather envision yourself going to Mexico, potentially taking your husband, potentially going with a friend, or whatever it is that really makes you dream for this holiday. Put that in front of you and put blinders on, right? And so double enrollment credits, that is personal enrollments for all of this month. Really a chance to stack your points quite fast because they do add up a lot. And this is where we also focus on reset packs, reset with a combo. Your PVs are higher, which gains you more credits, right? And if you double the bigger packs, look at the amount of credits that you're getting. It's just a lot of extra perks that gets your game going for the contest. And this is something that I feel like we often need to hear, where repetition is the master of success, because we need to teach ourselves to repeat what we're doing. It's not failure until you actually quit. It's only repetition if it hasn't worked yet, right? And so you're not starting over, you're starting stronger. That's the motto that we have for September. Okay, icon highlights. We have all new VIPs get free shipping for 3 months on 100 PVs and over for their first 3 months of orders. I have an itchy nose. And so there's a lot of benefits coming with being a new VIP right now. That's a huge thing that you can sell in your stories for your new VIPs, for them to remain consistent. And as I said before, there's going to be more perks that are rolling out tomorrow. There's going to be an announcement. And this is all geared towards making sure the retention piece of sponsoring is staying in place as well as you are growing, especially towards the Cancun contest, right? And like I just mentioned, we are working towards new chats. I'm going to hand this over to Sheila. We were putting stuff together this afternoon, And we're learning this from Trisha Regar. I don't know if you guys have been following along with that. Those of you that were in the icon chat got quite a bit of her stuff as well. She has developed a system strictly on Facebook, and it's just using Messenger chat. And it basically puts your resources at your fingertips right in Messenger. And so, Sheila, did you want to screen share? Does that work for you? Sheila's going to take us through it. If you have any questions, please ask, because it does take a little bit to wrap our brains around it, how it's going to look. I do think it'll be, you're coming with your phone. Okay. I do think it'll be more clear as you're seeing it, as you're joining it, and as you're using it. So go ahead, Sheila. You're muted.
Just going to, it's been a while since I've done this, so I'm just going to make Sheila 2.0 a
Oh,
co-host
yeah,
so that I can screen share with
yeah,
that on my phone.
that one, yeah.
Perfect.
If you're on a phone or somewhere else, you might want to stop to enlarge your screen a little bit just so that you can see this.
Yes, okay, so before I share what we've been doing, I'm very excited about this. If there's one thing I realized this summer, it was that we needed to simplify. We needed to make things easier and that there was less steps and thought involved because life is busy and life is full. And like Sonia Dudley always says, keep it simple, sweetie. And that's what we needed more of. And so when Trisha came out with this idea, yes, instant yes. It is the best system I have seen yet. It is the simplest system. It does not require you to download any other apps. It does not require you to make any changes. It is literally already in what we already have. It does not require, it's way easier than boards. It is, it's not going to cost you anything. That is why I love it. And so we're just getting started on setting it up. I am not done yet, but we have the bones ready, and that's what I want to show you today. So Facebook has come out with this system where you can set up communities. And in those communities, you can have a list of chats. Let me show you. I'm going to take you for a little tour on my phone.
And Zoom has changed things again.
Yes, they have. Okay, move that to the side. Okay, go into my messenger and into, it is called the AW Vault. So this is our vault. This is literally listed. If you look on the front screen here, it's listed as one. Do you see it right there? I wish I could like point it, but AW Vault, that is what it's listed at. And in this vault, what you're going to find is everything you literally need. And I wish I could go through each chat, but they're not all full yet, so I'll just show you the first few. Um, this top chat is going to be our September chat. This is going to bring everything into one place. So the icon chat is going away. Everything is going to come down to here. This is our landings. This is our landing zone. This is where you can ask your questions. This is where you can, that's what this chat right here is. So you can see it's still pretty empty because none of you are in it. But this is where all the goodness is going to be. And I'm going to share the link for this and make a post for this chat so that you just click and you can be added. Um, Next, we have each one of these is labeled into different categories. So you'll see daily biz. So this is your daily IPA stuff. The daily IPA, it literally has your daily checklist with an IPA sheet and a power hour tracker. So simple, so fun. Like I'm so excited about this, like very excited. And then when we keep going down, we have resources. So I don't have anything in these yet, but the monthly graphics I've already filled. So it's so easy to find your each month we're going to update this with what our monthly incentives are, and they're all in this one chat. One-stop shop. I love that. It's like Amazon, but for all of our content. It's so great. And so it's all in one spot. So we have customer success, flip books. There's a challenge central. There's going to be an events one. There is the ready, set, start. That is getting your um, newbies set up for success, like to
Can I
start
just
them off.
interrupt a little bit?
Yep.
I grabbed this. I paid to be in Trisha's vault. That's where we're getting the content. And I grabbed this. I went in, ready, set, start. I grabbed the graphics, popped them over to my new VIP, gave her the verbiage, sent her a voice message, done. It's so good that your brain doesn't have to think, where am I going to go look for this? Where did I get that? Was that in boards? Was that in Abundant Wellness? It's right in here.
Like we said, we just want it to be simpler. Simpler. Like really just make it super simple. And so then there's another section on stories, information. There's going to be testimony hub, Diamond Docs, and then at the bottom you'll find training. So training on chats, behind the scenes, basic training videos, and then a social media section. And so I'm going to be filling these up as I can. A few things. Out of these chats, only the Momentum Daily one at the top is one that you can respond in. All of the other ones are non-commenting. They're just for you to gain to access information. All the other ones have no commenting, no chatting in them. Um, when you open up this AW Vault, you have to tap the chats to be added into them because you're not going to automatically be added into them. You'll automatically be added into this top one, the Momentum Daily, but the rest, if you want to gain access to what is in it, you have to tap it to join it. And it'll say that. It'll say tap to join. And it's you're automatically going to be in it. But you get to choose what you want to access based on what notifications you want to get when I put things in it or when mom puts things in it. And so that is very much what it is. It's very simple. We just wanted to bring a very quick, easy, uh, content
System.
accessible system. This is like a system. And the reason why we wanted it simple, this doesn't mean that boards is going to go away. Sarah still has Telegram. It doesn't mean that that's going to go away. We're still going to have our wellness collective, of course. This is for you to not only make it easier for yourself, but make it easier for your newbies.
Mhm.
So that when you have somebody that signs up, instead of being confused about where you need to place them, this is the only place you need to place them. Because everything that is they need is going to be in here. They do not, to start off, they do not need anything more than what is already in here. And that in itself takes away so much of the guesswork and just makes it simple. So, I'm very excited to have you guys in here.
Awesome. Thank you. As we're filling them up, we're thinking of more ideas and more content that can be added there as well. Like there wasn't one that had like product info, things like that. And so as we're going, we can make more. And in the bottom is like a suggest chats. And so if you have ideas and you're like, oh, okay, I used to have this over there. That'd be cool to have this here. You can suggest those ideas and we can fill the gaps of what you need there. Okay, Shelley was sharing some wisdom this morning, and I asked her if she would be willing to share that with all of us because it was really a good nugget to share with all of us as we are going into September and to the end of the year. And so I'm going to give it over to you, Shelley.
Okay, so I'm going to give you three random thoughts and I promise to connect them and I'll try to do it in 5 minutes or less. But part of this stemmed from reflecting. I'm very reflective and I was thinking lately, why is it taking me a while to get from A to B? So I analyze it. Am I doing work? Yes. Am I consistent? Super consistent. Am I doing asks? And my consistency, everything is kind of increasing. So I'm like, where's the problem? And while I was reflecting on this, way back in February, I had done an Eric Worre training before he had come to Plexus, and he had done the ones in July. And one of the things he said kind of spurred me to look at those notes again. And he went into more detail in the January one. But basically, when he was talking about direct asks, he's like, you can do a direct ask, basically, come do Plexus with me when you have more influence than the other person, right? And if you have less influence than the other person, you have to do it a little bit more carefully. So I got thinking about that. And that reminded me of training I did. I used to work for the Red Cross and I did training, and part of child abuse and relationship violence is what I did. And so part of that training, we talked about power imbalances. And in any given situation, someone has power, and power can shift, and different people have power depending on where you are. For example, I think we would all agree right now if Tarl or Alec came on the call, because this is a plexus call, he would have the most power. Now we have a very negative connotation of power. I'm going to ask you to delete that and just take the word for what it is, right? Suddenly, if he was in the middle of a homeschool meeting and had to like homeschool his grandkids and I was leading the meeting, I would have more power than Alec or Tara because now I have that piece of information. So when I used to do this, there's 11 types of power. I'm not going to go through them, but there's information power, there's positional power, there's all these different power dynamics and power shifts. And so how I'm relating this all in is in the beginning, and I'm probably not alone. In the beginning, when you have to make your first business ask, you're like really nervous. So you're picking someone that you have more power than. You're picking someone that is probably going to say yes. You're picking someone that maybe you can even boss around a little bit, a little bit. If it's like your daughter and you're making her with her visa, that kind of thing. So you're picking someone that you feel comfortable with for two reasons. One, you're confident they're going to say yes. And two, if they don't, you don't think they have the ability to make you feel bad. What they think isn't going to change your view. That's not a bad way to start. It gets us confident and it gets us comfortable. But, and this is a huge caveat, and for everything I say now, there's going to be exceptions, but I want you to really think this through. Very often, the people that we have more power than, or we feel comfortable, they may not be people who are going to work the hardest and best and move you forward. If I'm honest, in the beginning, I was recruiting a lot of sick people, people that didn't want to do this, people that weren't comfortable with this, people that were not going to do their thing. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, why have people quit? Where have people gone? Why did this person say they would do the business and now they're not? Why did they disappear into thin air? Because some of them don't even want to get healthy, let alone actually want to do a business. So we talk about our chicken listers and we talk about this stuff and who you're afraid to ask. And all of this goes down to, and we hear it, pick people better than yourself, pick the high hanging fruit, pick people that motivate you and inspire you and excite you. And I think part of the reason why this doesn't resonate for us is I heard in one of the, I was the geek. So when we first started, I don't know if the Facebook page has it, but Abundant Wellness, there was guides somewhere and files. And I literally went through and I watched everything, right? I did that in there and in Team Awesome. So I have no idea where I found this. But one person said, she goes, you need to find someone. And she described someone. And she was just like using these words, someone who does this and someone who does this and who's going to work hard and who's going to do that. And I think the reason that's out of reach for some of us is because we look at where we're starting and we look at what these diamonds are recommending, and the gap's so big. So for us to even think of this, we like freeze because the action seems undoable. The person seems unreachable. In order for someone to be an expert in your eyes, they have to be like 10% better than you. They have to know 10% more. It's not tons, it's 10%. So when I was analyzing this for myself this summer, I'm like, okay, here's where I am. There's lots of people that need the products. I'm going to keep doing product asks. I'm going to keep getting customers. Absolutely. I'm going to do that. There's some people that I know we have different skills, equal skills. There's a lot of power similarities, but I really, really want to work with them and do that. And there's some people that are like a little bit better than me, a little bit maybe more influential, a little bit more power. And I definitely need a lot of those people. And then there's people way up here. And I think I'm not telling you how to do it, but who you pick and who you sign up is going to determine how fast you grow and how quickly you grow. And sometimes it's shot in the dark because sometimes the people here, like this one girl I talked to, she said, honestly, she goes, I like trading time for money and I make a ton of money for what I do. And I don't have an incentive to do more because I can't imagine it because I work, I make all this money, I come home, I get 2 weeks off at a time. I enjoy that. They don't have kids, her and her husband do her thing. So she's like, so for me to try to comprehend that is just not what I want to do. Could she be a customer? Yes. I just pitched this to her. She might be a customer. That's great. But when you're looking at it, if you keep doing your business asks and you're like, okay, I'm going to do 2 business asks a day, and you're asking people that are really, really sick, that are really, really unmotivated, that you feel super, super comfortable asking, you're not going to grow your business. Because if those people do say yes, they're not going to level you up. You're going to be pulling them up, and you want people to be better than you so that you can rise that. And that comes with that whole power dynamic. So to sum up, I don't want you to overanalyze it. I don't want you to overthink it. I want you to be honest about who you're actually asking into your business world. And one last little story that really kind of made it gel for me. I did two really bold asks recently of people I didn't know. This one gal, I didn't know her at all. I've never had a conversation with her. I was close with her mom. Me and her mom disconnected. We got reconnected. Then her mom passed away just as I was starting Facebook. So I was messaging with her mom, trying to connect with her, and then she passed away. And so I reached out to her daughter and I said, your mom's been gone a couple of years. And honestly, you don't know me, but I feel like I know you because your mom told me about you. And you're a homeschool kid, which means I know you're super bright. And would you meet with me and let me pitch my business? And she said, sure. We had one meeting, we had a second meeting, and I think she's good to go, right? She's definitely better than me. She's smarter than me. She's younger than me. She's in that generation. She's everything. The next thing I really want you to keep in mind is I met a random gal on Facebook and or on Instagram, and right away she's really expecting me to pitch the business. And she said, I'm enjoying getting to know you, but I saw that you saw something and you're not pitching me. And I said, why do you assume I'm going to pitch you right away? And she goes, that's what you guys do. I said, I don't know that I want you. And she goes, what? She goes, I'm so good in my stories and Instagram. Every week I have people coming to me. And I said, I'm the CEO of my company. I want to build a company that I want to build. I said, I'm trying to get to know you because I don't know if you're a fit for me. And she kind of did this one off, and it felt really bold saying that, you guys. And I could say it because I don't know her. And we've been getting to know each other. And I just made the business ask on Saturday. But for a month and a half, we've been getting to know each other. And off the gate, I said, I don't know if I want you. I don't want just anyone in. And ask yourself that. Are you so in the place of getting anyone in the door that you're asking anyone and everyone and you'll accept anyone? Because that's not necessarily bad, but realize you'll be putting energy down one road that might not produce fruit. You might be watering a weed, you guys. And when it gets big, you'll be like, oh, this is a weed. I did that once when I was first gardening. I had this really unique plant and I'm like, oh, that's a weed. Interesting. So do you want to water the weed? Do you want to take care of the weed only to have it pull it out and leave? Or do you want to find that? And there's not one right way to do it, right? Like if you're following Keith Callahan, he's like, you only need 5 people. Eric Worre's challenge was go have 300 conversations hard and fast. So I'm not telling you how to do it. But for me, I'm reflecting on, I've been making asks in the beginning that were too easy. So that's just your challenge, to look at who you're asking, why you're asking, how you're asking, and to not be afraid to have people in your organization that are better than you, and to be aware of all those dynamics. So I know that was kind of a lot, but I hope something made sense in there for you.
I feel like it all makes sense. I feel like in life in general, it's intimidating to us to go find people that we think are better than us. I've got a news flash. We pretty much think everybody else is better than us. So I mean, like if you take that thought captive and you say, hey, that's not the point, right? And you go and share what you have. I love how you said, maybe you're watering a weed. I personally, like I said in the comments, have watered weeds over the years because that's a part of growth. And when this all transfers into leadership development, you're going to learn that some of the weeds need water because they need our products. But you also can understand that they will not take you anywhere, and you don't need to spend 100% of your time watering weeds. You need to love them, care for them, give them what they need, and then go find the tall, beautiful plants that are going to produce fruit. Right? Ultimately, your goal is always to go share with people who are better than you. And when you look at that and you assume that someone else is better than you, or you're judging someone because that's what we do when we see them, because they give us a feeling, think about the fact of what you're offering them. Maybe, just maybe, that's a fruit producing tree that is happening, or it could be watering the weed. But you will decide of where your leadership is going to take that, right? So thank you, Shelley. That was Very good analogy. Very, very good. I know back when we did 5 levels of leadership with John Maxwell, we would talk about finding people who had a higher level of leadership than you did, because those people are going to pull up your lid and they're going to cause you to grow because they might be faster and better at certain things that you have still yet to develop. Those are the people that you do want in your business. And don't be intimidated by people that are better than you. Let them run. They're going to make their own mistakes, but them running is going to help you grow as well. So that was really good. Maybe it's a valuable herb. I just read your comment, Sheila. Stinging nettle is a valuable herb. Just wear gloves. I have a lot of that. Okay. In closing, I feel like this all aligned well, and I'm excited to start the new AW Vault. I feel like that's a resource that's going to be simple and easy for everyone. So make yourself familiar, get in there and check it out. Get your teams in there. I have a couple things that I needed to be sharing on yet. SIP, Step, and Share Challenge starts next Monday. It's such a simple, cool little 2-week challenge. You can bring new customers, you can bring your whole team. I feel like I need accountability again at this time of the year. And so bring your people, let's go get into that group. And it creates consistency, it creates product use and knowledge. Prizes are amazing as well. So get yourself in there. And it is September. And so in 3 weeks, we're going to have the Cross Canada events. Guys, let's make this really, really big for corporate to come and see what we're doing in Canada. Because Alec is coming to Edmonton, Carl is going to Peterborough, and wherever the other events are, wherever you're going to be. But this is a really big deal. Getting yourself in the room is always going to be more powerful than you think it is. It's somehow we underestimate and we look at all the things of, oh, I don't know if I can go to Edmonton that weekend. I know. I'm gone half the month. I'm thinking the same thing. I feel for you. I know it's hard. Once you're going to be in that room, you're going to be so glad that you came. It's like fertilizer for your belief, and the community is there, and you're going to be going home with much bigger vision. And on that Saturday, we're going to do an open house for Abundant Wellness at the Airbnb of where we are staying. And we want you guys to just come by, drop in the house, stay. We might be doing a brunch, we might be doing a potluck, whatever we decide with whoever is there. We just want to take time to hang out with whoever is in the city that weekend, that we can all have a place to sit and chat and get together, that it's not like one person is over on this hotel and the other one is there, and you can't make a place in the hotel to meet. So we wanted a place to just gather and be together, and I'm very, very excited for that. I'm going to finish off a little bit with some inspiration and belief for September. We don't grow by accident, we grow on purpose. And when you show up bold, your people start showing up too. This has been a good reminder for me again this fall, because when you purpose to sit down and send really bold messages and you're actually kind of a little bit nauseous, because like Shelley said, maybe with some people you can be braver, some maybe you can't yet because you haven't developed that trust yet. I've done some really brave asking, and there's some really valuable plants growing in my prospects. Your goal is always to go find new people that want to build their own business, right? And so this month is not about doing more. Don't feel overwhelmed that you think that this is about more. It's about doing what matters. The intention, the consistency, the belief, and you don't need to have it all figured out. That's always your permission to do with what you have where you're at, right? And so you don't need a perfect brand or a polished pitch, or you just need to care enough to start the conversations. And that's us showing up with who Plexus is, right? This is my big thing, because someone is waiting on the other side of your courage. And it's been really a big thing that I've been working on, is someone is waiting for me to come and share the message because their life will be changed, right? And so that can look like several different ways. It can look like inviting them to better health. It can look like you waiting to show them what's possible, right? And our community. People are starving for community. There's so much disconnect in the world nowadays with even, so much social media. The disconnect for people being together is huge. And so here's the truth. When you believe, others start to believe. When you lead with energy, people feel it, right? And when you show up daily, you create ripples that you might not ever fully see, but they matter. We might never see the full impact of what our conversations may have, but they're creating ripples and they're creating impact in other people's lives that is not being orchestrated by you, but it's an impact of because you chose to have that conversation. So your energy sets the tone, your effort sets the example, and your belief unlocks someone else's breakthrough. I'm very excited for this month. And if you have any questions, let's go pop into that chat. And I hope you have an amazing week. I will be off to Alaska very soon. Super excited for that bucket list item. And I can't wait to have more of you guys there with us. That would be ultimately my dream come true. Have a great week, guys. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. Take care.